Welcome to On the Edge with JP Devine from Central Maine Sunday. On the Edge with JP Devine audio is made possible by our subscribers like you. Thank you for listening and supporting local journalism in Central Maine. Now here's JP Devine.
The story came on last night just as we were getting ready to go to bed. The figures appeared against a blood-red background. In the next few days, the number would change, but these first numbers floated into our lives. We've been getting greater, darker numbers since the war between Israel and the Hamas started a week ago. I reached for the remote, eager to fall into bed without another set of numbers. Thousands have already died in this distant cloud of blood. Why post such a small number at the end of a day in safe, quiet Maine? I picked up the remote and ported it at the big screen for one last story from MSNBC before going upstairs. Oh, no, she groaned. Not before, Bud. Let's just end with something soft. Then the familiar faces of our daily local news flashed on with a young man standing in the dark outside a hospital, not in Israel, in Lewiston, Maine. Turn it off and let's go to bed, she said. The young reporter clutched his mic and spoke the words. It wasn't Tel Aviv. It wasn't the border of the Gaza Strip. These weren't Jewish or Palestinian numbers. They were American numbers on our doorstep. The headline behind him in white letters against the red background grew larger. Lewiston, Maine. How is that possible? It must have been a fire. Where? A fire so big, so sudden, that it could take the lives of so many humans in such a short time. It wasn't a fire. And it wasn't a school bus at this time of night. Lewiston? We had only been there once on a cold autumn night when we and some friends decided to try a new restaurant. It was a nice place, warm decor, good food, good service. But there was something else about Lewiston, Maine, something familiar, something good, something happy. What was it? 10:30 p.m. My youngest, with her super memory, picking up the news from L.A., called. Lewiston, she said, that's where we bought Gatsby. We were in Maine visiting my mayor and Pepper, don't you remember? And we couldn't take him on the plane, so we bought a Chevy Vega and drove back to L.A. with Gatsby. Don't you remember? No, I didn't. My memory now is a flawed forest. Then it did. We bought a new car for thousands of dollars, and then a $100 old English sheepdog in a mall pet shop. And by the time we got to Kansas, my two daughters had named him Gatsby. Someone once said there's nothing to do in Lewiston. Yes, there is. You can buy a sheepdog for $100 in a pet shop and a Chevy Vega to drive into faraway Los Angeles, where he became famous. That was the last time I went to Lewiston, the second largest city in Maine. She sat up in her chair. That's Bates College. Something must have happened at Bates. Oh, God. Yes. Something did happen in Lewiston, in Maine, in America. We had been safe. Nothing this bad had made it to Maine. No, it had. Monday, October 30th, 18 dead. 13 wounded. And the prayers, go on and on and on. In Israel and along the Gaza Strip, thousands die each day. In our largest cities, San Francisco, Los Angeles, people are being murdered in the streets. Tonight, I try to fall asleep under a full Halloween moon to a soft wind and rustling leaves. We're safe for now. But safe. What does it mean? hate and anger never sleep. It can happen again.
Thanks for listening to On the Edge with JP Devine. On the Edge with JP Devine audio is made possible by our subscribers like you. Thank you for supporting local journalism in Central Maine.